going on, guys? The Inside New York Sports Podcast here, and today we're talking about a hire that the New York Giants just announced today, and they are hiring Brian Callahan as their next quarterback coach and pass game coordinator, and I kind of really like this move. The overall Harbaugh staff, I think, has really good potential. I know there's been a ton of hate, whether it's Greg Roman as your offensive assistant, whether it is them not being able to land Todd Monken because he went to the Cleveland Browns and they have Matt Nagy as their offensive coordinator, or something about Jackson Dart. There's always something about the New York Giants that people are raving about. And it's ever since they hired John Harbaugh that they're all of a sudden, saying all this stuff. And listen, the biggest concern I obviously have, and I think I've said it, is the blown leads from John Harbaugh. That is the one thing that you could say, and I can agree with, that there is a concern with John Harbaugh. Other than that, he has built a solid staff. I'm not saying it's a perfect staff. I think the perfect staff probably would include Todd Monken as your offensive coordinator, but he got a head coaching job, and it's hard to not be the head face of a team. Even if it's Cleveland, even if it's a different team, you're the head coach of that team. Go run it. And if you're Todd Monken, go beat the Baltimore Ravens as well. But, anyways, getting back into this, Brian Callahan has worked with a ton of quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford, Cam Ward previously, Peyton Manning, Joe Burrow, which is probably Matthew Stafford. Peyton Manning's obviously retired, but Matthew Stafford and Joe Burrow, we've seen what they've been able to do, right? And I'm not saying it's 100% because of Brian Callahan is why Joe Burrow is who he is, but Joe Burrow has stated, that Brian Callahan's a solid coach. I like that. And I think with Brian Callahan, you're getting at Jackson Dart. The offense that Matt Nagy is probably going to run with Jackson Dart. A lot of RPOs, a lot of quick motion, a lot of players in motion, moving the football quickly, maybe some no huddle as well. But, there's a lot of excitement in the room. There's a lot of excitement for the offseason. What do they do in the draft? I'll probably make a whole separate video on that of what I think they should do at pick 5, or I'll have a YouTube short, so be on the lookout for that. But overall, I've been pretty happy with this offseason. Honestly, they got John Harbaugh, which I was raving about to get because he was the best name out there. They hire Matt Nagy. People are concerned. I'm not one of them. I think Matt Nagy can be a solid piece to this staff. Brian Callahan at the quarterback coach, helping out Jackson Dart, telling him to please slide as well, because that's a whole story. We don't need Jackson Dart in the tent week 1 against whoever we're playing, which might be a home game, which has been rumored. But hey, a lot of excitement for this team. Brian Callahan, I think, can do a good job with this team. And with Jackson Dart, to me, it really doesn't matter who his coach is. Jackson Dart has raw talent. Jackson Dart has weapons. Malik Neighbors is supposed to be ready for week 1, which is huge news after that tragic ACL tear he had against the Chargers. Cam Scadaboo is another one who a lot of people are raving about. Is he going to be ready? Is he not going to be ready? I expect him to be ready for week 1 as well. So you're getting a full staff and a full season, potentially, assuming everybody stays healthy, with Jackson Dart, Cam Scadaboo, and Malik Neighbors. At alone, we don't know what we're going to do with Wanda Robinson yet. We don't know what we're going to do with Jermaine Illuminor, Cordell Flott, etc. Right? There's a lot of names out there that need contracts. And obviously, they could do a ton of moves to create salary cap, because I think their salary cap is going to be $6 million, I think, something like that. Or it's even less than that. But regardless, with restructures and releasing players, they can save a lot. And it better be Graham Gano. I better see Graham Gano off this roster. It's been a solid season. But getting back to Brian Callahan, kind of the last thing I have is just, I wonder what the impact he is truly going to be on Jackson Dart, right? The biggest thing I want to see improvement at Jackson Dart is throws down the field, in my opinion. I know what he could do with medium to short passing, but that deep ball, I want to see that thing fly, baby, to Malik Neighbors And I think with Malik Neighbors coming back, it does. The potential is through the roof with Jackson Dart as well, because Malik Neighbors can catch basically anything, I would say. I mean, the grabs that he had against the Dallas game, the grabs he had in his freshman year in the NFL, in that Cleveland game where he had multiple touchdowns, and him just going up for the ball, grabbing it over, mossing people. That's the potential of Malik Neighbors. He's a top 5 wide receiver already in football, in my opinion. Top 10 at the minimum. But Malik Neighbors has already shown that if you feed him the football, he can give you 1,400, 1,500 yards, in my opinion, and hopefully have 10 touchdowns in the 17-game span. And hopefully we're a playoff team next year, man. Hopefully, I would say the floor for our team is 6 wins, and the ceiling is 10-7. I think that's fair. I'm not going to say we're going to go 12-5. I think the floor, if you don't win 6 games, which would be a 2-game improvement under John Harbaugh, I would consider that a disappointment. I'm not going to go with the whole we have to make playoffs next year, because this team still needs to grow, man. This will be Jackson Dart's second year, first full season, right? He didn't start until, week 4 against the Chargers. And, you get second year at a Scatterboo, second year at Malik Neighbors. So, there's still a lot of young talent on this team. And this defense as well with Denard Wilson, I'm pretty excited about as well, of what they're going to be. A lot of new changes, obviously. It's a whole new culture. It's a whole new opportunity for the New York Giants, and I'm excited. I'm ready for it. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this Brian Callahan breaking news, new quarterback coach, new pass game coordinator, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the way to 400 subscribers. Get us there now. See ya.